So this is a response video to some fights Greg was my driving instructor. I actually meant to post this a while back, but I'm a pretty big procrastinator. I'm actually filming this on Christmas Day, but it probably won't get posted until about June. So, unfortunately, I too remember my driving instructor, or instructors. That's right, I was lucky enough to have two of them. The first guy's name was George. He kind of looked like a rat, but the first thing that I noticed about him was not his charming looks, but his smell. It smelled like this guy had just ran a marathon and didn't shower. So the first thing that he tells me when I get in the car is that he doesn't yell. He does not believe in yelling. So I figure, alright, this isn't going to be too bad. At least he doesn't yell. He may smell, but that's any kind of compromise. So this guy talks about a mile a minute. I mean, he did not shut up from the moment that I got in the car. So he's talking, asking me 1,000 questions, not giving me time to answer, and I run a stop sign. And what does he do? He screams and yells. I've never been yelled at more in my whole entire life. So much for him not yelling. Then the next thing that we do after my little stop sign incident is go on an errand. Now, good driving instructors take their students to, places where they can actually learn how to drive, like the highway or something like that. No. This guy takes me to his neighborhood. So I'm driving 25 miles an hour for a good half hour, and I get yelled at every time I go 24 or 26. That really didn't teach me anything. So we finally stop at his house, and he tells me to wait in the car. So I wait, and I wait, and I wait for a half hour. That's right, I timed it. Now please tell me why I paid him to teach me how to drive. But the horror doesn't end there. My next driving instructor was Chris. So he pulls up to my house, gets out of the car, and waddles, yes, waddles, for he was a very large man, to the passenger side of the car. So I get in, and I thank God that he knows what deodorant is, because there is no air conditioning in that car, and it is the dead of summer. So everything's running smoothly until I have to learn how to parallel park. I pretty much failed at that, so we decided to switch sides so that he can show me how to actually parallel park. But first, he needs to use the restroom. Now there's a porta potty there, and so he gets out of the car, and the last time I checked, porta potties don't have sinks, and they don't have soap. So he gets back in the car, touches the steering wheel, and the only thing that I can think about is what he just touched, and what he's touching now. And this guy, I'm telling you, personal hygiene is not at the top of his list. But I survived touching the steering wheel. I didn't die from any disgusting diseases that he may have had. And he decides to take me out for ice cream to celebrate. I'm not really a fan of ice cream, but he would not take no for an answer. So I give in, and we go to get ice cream, and I get a small cone. And a small cone at this place is about the equivalent of a medium or a large at most places. And this guy decides to get an extra large, which is about as big as his gut. And like I said, this guy was a large man. So I take, the normal time to eat my ice cream cone, and he pretty much inhaled his. Literally. He got it, he breathed, and it was gone. In fact, I'm not even sure that he breathed. But I did survive these two drivers, and now I have my license. So I'm not sure they really taught me anything. So you might want to be careful when you're driving.